What's up, guys? Okay, so I've had a lot of talk about this in my other series called Coffee Talk Coffee Enemas, but this is going to be a video about my experience and how I've cleansed from parasites. So, I've done a lot of research into this, and I first found out I've got parasites by doing a coffee enema, and some of them came out. Some things I was just like, what's that? Looked into it, turns out ropeworm most likely, or the highly debated ropeworm. But anyways, um, the more I looked into this, the more methods I found. There's Gubarev, who is a Russian civil engineer, I believe, who actually patented a number of different enemas that have patents in Russia on how to get rid of these things. And some of them don't sound all too comfortable. I guess one of them is they suggest to juice 3 whole lemons and just do that by itself. And even though your bowels and stuff are acidic by nature, um, you run the risk of actually eating through your wall and then possibly even having like some internal bleeding, which that would not be good for anybody. But anyways, back to that. So yeah, coffee enemas is definitely going to be one of them. I bought a special coffee enema coffee, which is it's called a golden roast, and that actually worked quite well, especially after I felt like the other coffee light roast that I was using just kind of stopped doing too much. It wasn't very effective. I didn't see any elimination of liver stones or gallstones, which I talk about all those things in my other videos. But so I did start out doing the coffee enemas, and I did a 15-day Parasmart cleanse from Renew Life. I did that, and I actually ended up doing that. I think the most effective way was I was doing it around the clock, like basically taking the tincture every 8 hours and the pills every 8 hours, but I alternated that. So I was actually awake around the clock, and every 4 hours, I either was taking the pills or the tincture. And I passed a lot of stuff during that. That was the beginning, really. That really helped me feel quite good. And then I actually did a little bit of traveling and wasn't able to just do enemas everywhere I was going, obviously. And I took Wormwood, and I bought Wormwood capsules, and I was taking like 21 over 2,000 milligrams a day, basically. I was going to say 2,100 milligrams. Um, but I did that, and also I eat clove all the time. I did ginger teas daily. I did clove teas that I'd mingle in with that. I put clove essential oils and oregano essential oils and cinnamon essential oils into little carrier oils like coconut and rubbed that on my abdomen. I found that was beneficial for a lot of things. Um, so getting back to the enemas, which I found the most helpful for eliminating parasites, I would do like 3 juiced lemons into 1 quart of water for an enema. I would do, and that was really effective. I saw that was actually the type that I did when I eliminated like a 3-foot worm. That I was shocked that I pulled a 3-foot worm. I was just like, oh my gosh, this thing's huge. But it's not like it wasn't fat or anything, and it was dead. All of them, in my experience, have come out when they were dead, and they they were probably not very much bigger than, say, like a fat fettuccine noodle, like a regular fettuccine noodle. Very similar size-wise. When they were alive, they're probably more round and stuff, not just flat. Anyways, so I've also gotten rid of them doing baking soda and salt enemas, which would be like 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of like a good mineral sea salt. I use a pink Himalayan one that I've got. And that eliminated the jellyfish type. You'll have to look up Gubarev and learn about his 5 stages of these things. And Gubarev talks about how he still has never eliminated all the parasites himself. And Volinsky Alex Volinsky is a professor who basically brought this information more to the forefront of the medical alternative medicine community. He's got some podcasts and videos and stuff online you could watch, and I learned a lot from him. He talks about how he personally has still never eliminated all the parasites, and talks about how we're a home for a lot of things. And I guess in the basic way of understanding is that we do not consist of the majority of our cells that are in our body are not human. Like we've got bacteria, we've got fungus, we've got other organisms. So at the end of the day, these things are influencing us in so many ways with your hunger cravings, with XYZ, all kinds of stuff. For my diet, I've been on a ketogenic diet, which I'm going to make a video about my ketogenic experience very soon. And that has helped me really eliminate sugars. So that's one thing that a lot of these things feed off of. And when you're eliminating through coffee enemas or whatever kind of enemas, Candida could become a problem. So one of the ways you could cancel that is actually doing an ACV, apple cider vinegar enema. And to do that, I was doing like 1 to 2 ounces, fluid ounces of apple cider vinegar in 1 quart to 2 quarts. I didn't really go above that much at all. And those have been actually the hardest to keep in for me. I think the parasites hate those the most. And I think that's probably the most effective. So those have been really beneficial for me. I've also heard about milk enemas being really beneficial for a lot of people. I didn't try those. There was a time for the weekends, if I was working, I typically do work weekends, that I would take oregano oil probably every 4 to 6 hours, and I think that helped me eliminate some stuff. So another thing in some of these enemas, I would also get a tincture of black walnut and just put 1 or 2 droppers full into that enema. I think those are the basics. Those are the main ways. Honestly, I do like gentle massages onto my stomach and push from the right side and then up, right lower side, and then up and then over to my left side and then down. And that like is your descending colon basically. If I push on that and kind of massage that and move things, sometimes I could hear a bubble pop, and that's actually like a 3rd stage of this thing that they use bubbles to anchor themselves. I would actually consider uploading a video real soon about graphic images that I've taken and videos that I've taken of eliminating all these different things. So I think that's kind of the basics of it. Let's see, lemon, baking soda, salt, coffee, black walnut, essential oils on my abdomen. Yeah, I think those are the gists of it. And yeah, eliminating sugars from my diet. And oh yes, diatomaceous earth. I've been taking diatomaceous earth in the morning and in the evening before bed on an empty stomach, somewhere between 1 to 2 teaspoons. I've heard people work up to like a tablespoon. It can be difficult if you try these things before a long day at work because they can make you tired in the first place. So, just consider what you're going to be doing that day in the scenarios that you're going to face. But yeah, guys, I would probably, okay, I actually did the Wormwood for 4 weeks, and I was doing research that people said, just do Wormwood for 4 weeks. Don't suggest doing it any longer because could be side effects of taking Wormwood for too long. And they said like headaches and stomach aches, and those are the only real side effects that I found that suggested an actual side effect from the herb. I'm kind of skeptical about actual side effects because the other side effects that I researched online sounded like people detoxing or eliminating parasites, because you can have a lot of different issues with eliminating these wastes, because some of them like to surround themselves with some funky, nasty stuff and viruses and other bacteria that is not beneficial. And, you could have gas that really smells horrible. So I think, in my opinion, from my experience as well, wormwood has been relatively safe. And after I looked into it, all I could really find about taking a break from wormwood, they said at least 2 days. And I was like, 2 days? What is that really going to do? But I did. I took a break for a couple days, and then I started over after my 4 weeks of wormwood. And I read other people say that getting rid of large parasites, they needed like 6,000 to 8,000 milligrams daily. So I've basically been around that area now for the last week, and I've been noticing that I'm started to eliminate parasites again. For a little while there, it was kind of tapering off. I didn't see much being eliminated, but I could still, in my experience, feel these things moving around me, and I know for a fact that I am still dealing with a semi-large parasite. But basically, those are the things I've been doing. I'll probably increase Diatomaceous earth. I'll keep doing the wormwood at 6,000 to 8,000. And niacin, actually, that's been really beneficial, because a lot of people talk about when they eliminate these parasites, they can face a lot of mental psychosis issues, like not really being in touch. I noticed that I was very sensitive to being touched, period. Along with just easily aggravated. So it just depends. I would probably not do these things if you got to work a full day. Maybe overnight you could do this, but if you can't do niacin, doing niacin, I immediately notice a benefit to eliminating a lot of these toxins that are getting built up in my system, and it alleviates a lot of the psychosis and mental health issues, things that I've been going through. You can check out my videos on an introduction to niacin. Highly suggest it. Also, there's more information on all this stuff that I've been doing in my coffee talk videos, but I wanted to gather a lot of this information, put it all in here, and I believe this is it. I think I got it all in here. So if there is any more information that I think about that I didn't include, I'm going to add it in the description. There's so many different ways out there to contract parasites, in most likely everybody's got them. That's the bottom line. So, all right, guys, stay healthy. Thanks for listening.